How do you define futurism?
Well, in a way, we're all futurists. I mean, anytime anybody makes a prediction, for example, someone could say something wild like, next week, man will step foot on the moon. That is being a prediction and that is being a futurist. But to be a professional futurist, you actually have to be right every now and then. And if you have a methodology, and again, I've been doing this for 38 years, 7 best-selling books, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, thousands of articles. I've started 6 companies using these principles that have done well. So I've got a methodology that works, and I'm excited to share that with everyone.
Wow. Well, I know you talk about trends a lot in your books and your articles. So tell us, when people are looking for certainty in an uncertain world, how do you help do that through trends?
Well, it's actually a very powerful thing, and you could even think of it as a science of certainty. What I've done is I realized, number one, there's no shortage of trends. The trouble is, which ones are going to happen? And secondly, when will they happen? So I've come up with a way of doing that, and I'm going to teach that to people today and show you how you can apply it. So basically, all trends are either one of 2 categories. They're either a hard trend based on a future fact that will happen. Now, what that means is it cannot be stopped. It's going to happen. A soft trend is based on an assumption about the future that may or may not happen. And when it comes to business and your personal life, risk and managing risk is important, especially if you're looking at anything innovative. So this is a new way to manage risk because strategy based on certainty has low risk, strategy based on uncertainty has high risk. So there's a couple of things I'm teaching in the moment. One is that trends are either hard trends or soft trends, one of the two. And secondly, you have to tie an opportunity to the trend. You see, if you just talk about a trend, you know what? I'm bored. So are you. It's academic. But the minute we can talk about how one of your 18 businesses can profit from one of these trends, I got your attention. And so you've got to always have an opportunity tied to a trend. So when it comes to hard trends, you can see the disruptors before they disrupt. That allows you to have disruption become a choice. You can now either be the disruptor or the disrupted. There's no in between. And it lets you see problems before you have them. I mean, how many times have people said, well, I knew that would happen? And I would say, well, then why did you let it? It's amazing how many problems you can predict and pre-solve, but usually we let them play out. And in the old world, meaning 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you could do that and get away with it. But the world is moving so fast right now. If we don't get ahead and predict problems and pre-solve them, we're not going to be happy campers. One other thing on soft trends that I love them as well. Love soft trends, love hard trends. What do I love about a soft trend? If you don't like it, you can change it. It's based on an assumption and you can change it. As a matter of fact, let me give you all something that I'd like you to do after hearing me and hearing this podcast, because I don't want to just leave with a hope you liked it. Let me give you all an action. I would like you to spend 1 hour a week. 1 hour is doable. And what I'd like you to do is to unplug from the present and plug into your future, because that's where you're going to spend the rest of your life. That's where you're going to make the rest of your money. Maybe you ought to think about it. And in that hour, instead of creating a list of things you don't know, how about a list of things you do know? Instead of things you're uncertain about, how about a list of things you are certain about? Instead of things you can't do, how about a list of things you can do? I would like that hour to be your opportunity hour. And I would like you to look at what are the hard trends, these future facts that I can see are happening. And I know they'll continue and growing, just like after 5G. Is that it? No, we're going to have 6G followed by 7. And are we putting a lot in the cloud? Was it getting full? No. And if you don't like AI, is it going away? No, it's not going away. Instead, we got to ask ourselves, how are we going to use it? Think about it. So I would like you to spend 1 hour, look at the hard trends, look at the soft trends that you can manipulate and change to your advantage, get the opportunity for each. You'll get a list, come down and get one thing that you act on, because big lists never get done. If you can find one hard trend certainty to act on, you'll end up doing really well.